Hi there, and welcome to a quick overview of the maintenance software ManWinWin. ManWinWin was developed by the most experienced CMMS company in the world. And in this demo, I'll show you how you can digitalize your maintenance operations, reduce errors, and save time. You'll finally get real-time visibility of all your maintenance, track maintenance history, work orders, and inventory. And I'll also show you how you will start creating the foundations for AI-based forecasts and predictions. I'll start by showing you configuration. This is what gives you flexibility. The software adjusts your company's reality and settings. You will configure ManWinWin for your specific needs. ManWinWin software is the most experienced CMMS company in the world. We can really help you in this critical configuration stage. Next, you have your complete and organized list of assets and technical information. You have documents, manuals, and certifications that you may want to attach to equipment, all centralized in one place. It's quick and it's easy to access by anyone, and it saves you a lot of time. And here is where you plan your equipment's preventive maintenance with alerts and notifications. You can set preventive maintenance by calendar time or by running records like hours or kilometers. You set up the checklist of tasks you need to do, plan ahead the people and the spare parts you will need, including suppliers you will need to hire, and this helps you optimize your team's productivity. It helps you avoid unexpected stockouts and significantly reduce your costs. Corrective maintenance, in turn, usually starts by someone reporting the problem to maintenance, and the maintenance department is immediately notified to take a corrective maintenance action. This way, you keep track of all corrective maintenance. You eliminate emails, WhatsApp messages, and you won't forget about things. You'll create a faster and a traceable procedure, which reduces equipment downtime. Now, this is a really important part of this demo. Your field technicians report all maintenance work carried out through the desktop interface, the web interface, or the mobile app. The costs you configured before will appear automatically for each record they make. So it is quite a simple task for your technicians to consistently feed the system with valuable data. And this data is what enables you to track your equipment's maintenance history and costs. This is information. This is your big set of data. It is the basis for decision making. It helps you justify decisions to top management. It helps you decide on investing in a new equipment or not. And it is also the evidence for certifications and legal requirements that you must comply with. The reporting I mentioned before will automatically bring together useful real-time analysis reports and KPIs, and you will have an immediate pulse of what is happening with your maintenance just by clicking here. And this, again, saves you a lot of time. You can export any report to a PDF and send them over to your management every week, every month with no stress. ManWinWin's stock management module enables you to track and manage inventory levels for your spare parts. It provides you with alerts for minimum levels so you can reorder on time and avoid not having those spares available when you need them. Then you can issue the purchase request for the spare parts you need to purchase and use ManWinWin purchasing module to send purchase orders for spare parts or services that you need. Then you receive those spare parts or services directly in ManWinWin. Once a purchase for spare parts is received, it goes directly to your inventory. Here, back to stock management module. What you just saw was the desktop access. Let's move on to the web access, which is dedicated to daily maintenance operations and is ideal to access through a tablet or a laptop. Users can access all the features needed for the daily maintenance tasks from anywhere they are. And this is how you will go completely paperless. Everything is digital. And this saves technicians a lot of time. It empowers them with information. And this simplicity of reporting has actually proven to increase employee productivity in about 30%. The mobile app is available for Android and iOS. As you see, the app is really easy to use, which means your technicians will use it, which means you will collect valuable data. Technicians can view all equipment and detailed information, record maintenance requests, check work that has been assigned for them, do all the reporting, and finish with a digital signature. And this is done through a smooth experience, even for less tech-savvy people. I mean, anyone can use a smartphone, right? And finally, we have Winston, ManWinWin's smart assistant that you can turn on and off whenever you want. Once it is on, Winston is constantly making calculations that it then organizes in order to provide you with real-time alerts for your equipment, work orders, and stock management, general insights in your maintenance so you won't miss anything important. And Winston then uses AI to generate automatic forecasts and predictions of breakdowns, downtime, and other parameters. We're now going to dive into more detail in the 12 main features of ManWinWin, starting with configuration, where you define all these settings for your specific reality: functional organization, your personnel, the work schedules, the type of equipment, the families, everything is configured here. This is the standard work description library, for example, which is the knowledge base of all the preventive maintenance tasks that your company has for each equipment. You set other information like the causes and symptoms for breakdowns, the material stock item coding standard, the stores. Everything is defined here first before you move on to your implementation. And one of the really important things that you need to set is user administration. In other words, the accesses and privileges of the users accessing the system. Next, you have the asset list. And the asset list, as you saw, contains all the information about your equipment, technical details, etc. And you are able to scroll, you are able to filter information as you wish, check for operational data like the running hours of equipment. You have here the possibility of defining the code with which you want to manage your equipment, defining notes, defining the 2D option, which will make your life of your technicians much easier. By right-clicking, you can access documents and attach any documentation you want, like certifications, calibrations, whatever. And then you have the possibility of tracking running records. And through these running records option, you are able, or ManWinWin is able to make projections based on statistical analysis, make projections to know in more detail what will happen in the near future with the running records. By right-clicking again, you can do the same thing for reading parameters. You can monitor the reading parameters, set a minimum and a maximum alarm level, and then ManWinWin will be able to track predictions and pave your way for condition-based maintenance. By right-clicking, we are now going to move on to maintenance plans. And maintenance plans, as you saw before, is defined based on calendar or on running record, whichever date comes first. And this is an important part because you're going to define the checklist of tasks that need to be done in a certain period of time, plan all these things that you want to have your technicians do in this period of time. And from that moment on, you will be able to have information, the basis for information that your technicians will see in the field. Moving on to work orders, this is the dynamic part of the system. This is where you will be able to plan and move around all the information, all the tasks that are planned, you will be able to move them around, rescheduling them, track deviations to the schedule you initially made. And this is the part where you're going to assign work for technicians by checking on the button issue. In other words, assign a task to a technician. And once you assign a work order to a technician, you will now jump into the main feature, how field technicians report their work. We're going to jump number 4 and see it later. And because this is a really critical one. As you remember, technicians are able to report their work through the desktop, the web, and the app. What you're seeing now is how they report through the desktop. It's very simple. They are logged into the system. They report the time they spent. The man-hour cost is already attached because it was defined at the beginning. They're also able to report spare parts. They can do that through what we call a direct application, which is just, I used this spare part in this quantity and it goes to history, no store management, or they can use the store output option, which is, they went to get it from the store, which is managed in ManWinWin. And you have all the quantities here. You set the quantity level that you want to stock out to this specific work order. And as opposed to direct application, in the store output, you had 10, you used 1, you now have 9. The same is valid for all the other information in the work order that was reported in the desktop application, as this here you see, which is the checklist of tasks that were carried out by the technician. So this is how technicians report their work through the desktop application. And this is the web reporting, or the web access for the field technicians, where they can report their work. And as you can see, it's a pretty simpler user interface, which is the goal here, because all we want is for them to report the work that they carried out, and they can do this directly here in the web access through a tablet or a computer or any laptop, they can use the start and stop feature to report the time they spent. They can access here either the direct application or the stockout option. Once again, this is easier if done through the web interface, but can be done through the desktop application, and then they finish off with a digital signature, and this is how they report through the web. Then we have the app, the mobile app, iOS and Android. And once again, what you saw before for desktop and web, you will now see in the ManWinWin app, which is, again, simpler. This is the start and stop feature where they can set the time they spent doing their work. They can also access the store, and they can report a spare being used either through direct application or a store output. And all in all, these are the three ways in which technicians can report the work that they made: desktop, web access, or the mobile app. And why is this such an important part of this presentation, the reporting of the field technicians? Because everything they report, in the end, boils down to maintenance history. Amongst other things you will see, but it boils down to maintenance history. And what you're seeing now is the list of all the work orders that are in history, that are terminated, that are closed, done. And this is like a deposit of information that you can search for with so many filters here and actually narrow down important information you wish to isolate, separate, like all the machines of the type CNC Titan. This is my example here. And this is, once again, this is information. This is your set of data. This is why reporting is so important, because you are going to have all the information reported by your technicians organized here in maintenance history. And from there, you will also be able to visualize this real-time dashboard, amongst other things, this real-time dashboard that is updated in real time through those reporting and work orders. You can customize your dashboard to meet your specific needs. Other than that, you are also able to customize your own KPIs. So I'll give you an example. If you want to create a KPI, any KPI for that matter, you just simply use this formula editor from ManWinWin and cross-analyze automatic parameters, which mean parameters generated automatically by ManWinWin, manual parameters, cost accounts, stock items, you name it. We have as if a spreadsheet right here where you cross-analyze specific parameters generated by the software. As in this example, I am dividing maintenance costs by production in units, which gives me maintenance cost per unit produced. Next, we have Works Report. And this is where you will be able to create any report out of hundreds of reports we have available. And you can select your filter. What exactly do you wish to analyze? Is it a production line, for example? Is it type of equipment? Is it costs per employee? Costs per maintenance? These are several possibilities that you have here to issue reports, generate these reports whenever you need to, and then easily export them to a PDF, and you can send it over to your top management, to your peers in your other companies. And this is really simple with one click. So we're going to skip stock management and purchasing for the time being, and we're going to jump right into the web access. This is the dashboard, the web access, and you have a customized dashboard that you can access and configure to meet your needs. And this is where you access the entire equipment list, the asset list, and all the work orders attached to each equipment. You can also access the information that you have recorded for each equipment, documents and whatnot, and always at the same time record or check all the work orders, stock items, readings, and running records for each equipment. You have also the materials tab, where you will be able to check all the movements of stock in each of the warehouses that you have, which again is a mobile way of accessing the stock management part of the software. And I'd like to show you the maintenance requests. In other words, how corrective maintenance starts. This is the web access to the maintenance requests. Previously, you saw the desktop access to the maintenance requests, and now I'm going to record a maintenance request in the web version of ManWinWin, so in the web access. And just as an example, once again, you can customize these fields, all these fields, but the more information that is provided in the request part, for example, the equipment that you are asking the maintenance for, and the diagnosis and the symptom and the cause, the more information you give in the request stage, once that request is received by maintenance, it will also at the same time start populating the system, feeding the system with failure mode effect analysis. In other words, for a specific type of equipment, for its corresponding components, you then have causes and then have symptoms. So this is like a hierarchy of problems and respective corrective actions. And remember, this is done at the maintenance request level, at the issuing of the work order level. But once you set the corrective actions to address that specific cause for that specific symptom, for that specific component of that specific equipment, then you will start building an information base, a knowledge base that is extremely useful and quick to solve problems. We're going to stay in mobility, and I'm going to show you the app. This is the main screen of the app. You have your next work that has been assigned for the technician, last request updates. This is the list of all the work that has been assigned for the technician, and I'm now going to jump into maintenance requests. I've shown you how to request a maintenance in the web access and previously in the desktop. This is how you do it in the mobile app. Remember, this is before any corrective maintenance. Usually there is a maintenance request. And just like in the web, you will be able to select the equipment, if it isn't downstaged or not. This is the component, this is the symptom and the cause, and you've seen how important it is to make a correct diagnosis in the maintenance request stage. And then in the desktop version, maintenance has been informed that there is a request, has received a notification, and has received a request in the software. And at this stage, approval is optional here, but at this stage, maintenance is going to create a work order, assign a work order to attend that request that was made. And I'm going to assign it to this guy right here, click OK, and assign it to the technician who has received already a notification that there is a work upcoming. Let's circle back to the desktop version, and we'll go back to the stock management module that you saw before, the inventory of spare parts, which you will see here. All the list of all the spare parts that you have and corresponding quantities, the minimum levels, the maximum stock levels, etc. And these lights here on the left will show you which spare parts you have in safe quantities, which are okay, which are not okay. You have real-time statistics that you can see and check for yourself. You will be able to do store ins, store outs. All those movements are tracked in ManWinWin. And at any given point in time, you are able to relate or send over what are the spare parts that you need to buy. Take this search filter right here, stock items that are equal or lower to minimum. And ManWinWin will compile the list of everything that you need to buy and actually suggest the quantities that you need to purchase according to your maximum levels in your stock in each of the spare parts. And at this stage, you are preparing a purchase request. You click OK, the purchase request has been issued. And now you're going to use ManWinWin's purchase management module to process this purchase request. And this is ManWinWin's purchasing management module, as you saw before. And you have here the list of all the purchase requests that have been made in the past. And you can easily create a new purchase order or prepare a new purchase order to attend those purchase requests. You can also contact suppliers, issue quotes for suppliers, or request quotes from suppliers. Here you have the items ordered, below you have the items received. And for each of these purchase orders, you will be able to track everything that has been received so far, partially or totally received. And everything is tracked smoothly. And everything that is received is then entered, or in case of a spare part, will enter the store management, as you saw before. And everything as you are stocking out through those work orders, you will be able to close the loop between purchased, stocked in, and then stocked out through work orders. And finally, we have Winston, Smart Assistant. You've seen how it provides alerts, general insights, and forecasts. Within the alerts, we have several possibilities to create alerts. And remember, these are personalized alerts. So you can actually adjust the parameters that you want to have Winston notify you, for example, for all the equipment that is unavailable in the last 24 hours in this case. I want to confirm, and at this moment, Winston is now making calculations to present the information of all the equipment that has been unavailable in the last 24 hours. Remember, this is like constantly notifying you of things. General insights, for example, all the equipment. Once again, this is Winston doing calculations and providing you with insights in real time. Items with high maintenance costs, for example, by adjusting the parameters right here, you will be able to have Winston notify you of important things. And these are the type of things that you do not want to miss. So you won't miss them because you have Winston to help you out. And you have the forecasts, AI-based forecasts. Remember, we are using artificial intelligence algorithms to calculate breakdowns, maintenance costs, downtime, and repair time for the future, to actually make forecasts. For example, for breakdowns, for specific production lines. Why not? For the next 12 months. And this is the information that Winston is calculating using AI algorithms and telling you exactly what are the forecasts for costs, for breakdowns, or for downtime, or for repair time. Thank you so much for your time during this demo. My name is Rodrigo, and I am General Manager at ManWinWin Software. I hope that we can talk to you soon.